Can everybody hear me? Can you hear me? Just say yes in the chat. Okay, so that I know that you are able to hear me. So today, I gave you two problems yesterday. One was the complex and one was the simple. So we will start the simple one now and the complex one which we will do on Monday. And simple one is also having the two version. I am not sure if I will be able to do both or one. Let's see how much time we are getting to do the simple one first way. So there, the question is like this. I will put the question. So the question is sum finder. The topic of the project is sum finder. And we have to find the sum of the two numbers should be equal to the number provided. So for example, I will give you one example. So let's say I have a function sum finder. So I have a function sum finder. I should be able to call, let's say var result is equal to sum finder, and I will pass two parameters in it. One parameter will be an array of numbers and another parameter will be the total. So for example, I will put 6, 4, 3, 2, 1, 7. When I pass this array, I will check these two numbers, then I will check these two numbers, 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 and then I will see whether whether this two number is equal to the 9 or not. This is the criteria that I will check this number with this number, and I will see whether it is equal to 9 number or not. Is that okay? And then so the criteria is like this. I will check 6 plus 4, or I will check 1 second. Let me see what exactly it is. Yeah, I will check 4 plus 3, and then I'll check 3 plus 2, and I'll check 2 plus 1, and I'll check 1 plus 7. So I will be checking like that, and I will see if that is equal to this sum or not. Okay. Okay. So let's do this in one of the way, and then we will see the complex part on Monday. So here I will pass two things. One is called array, and another is called the number. Now, before I go to see how I will solve it, I will tell you the method which I will be using it. So the problem is, let me define the problem a little bit more, because I think I might have not explained you properly the problem. Okay, so problem is like this. if I can go to this first number, that is 6, and I will add it with the 4, and I will see if it is equal to 9 or not. Then I will go 6, and I will take another number called as 3. Then I will check whether these two are equal to 9 or not. Then I will check. Actually, it is multi-level. So 6 have to be checked with all and see if it is equal to 9 or not. And then I will take 4 and I will try to check with all the numbers if it is equal to 9 or not. Then I will take 3 and then I will check with all the numbers and I will see if it is 9 or not. Then I will check 1 and I will go to the all numbers and I will see if it is equal to 9 or not. As soon as I get the equal, combination of these two numbers equal to 9, then I will come out of the loop and I will check true. So the return should be always true or false. So let's say if everything fails, I will return false. And if I get something, I will return true and I will come out of the loop. And if nothing comes true, then I will return false and I will come out of the loop. So it's not that adjacent number, it's one number and any number of this number can be equal to 9. So we will do a couple of methods. So I will make one more function called a SumFinder2. There may be more methods also. So I will just do 2 methods. First I'll do first method and then I'll go to the second method. So how are we going to solve this? So let's say if I want to do simple method, I will take one loop which will go from 6, 4, 3, 2, 1 and 7, and then I will take another loop which will be from the 4. So let's say this is little bigger way, and but it solves the purpose. So let's say I will take 6 and I will try to add 4, and then I will try to add plus 3, or I will try to add 2, or I'll try to add 1, I'll try to add 7. And after I'm done with this loop, I will take another number 4 and I will try to add all the numbers ahead from it. Let's say I'll say 3 and I will add 4 plus 2, like this. I will take 4 and then I will add all the numbers one by one and I will check if it is equal to 9 or not. Then I will take 3 and then I'll try to add all the numbers and I'll see if it is equal to 9 or not. So like this, we will be passing through it. So first loop will be like this. For example, I will take the first total length. I will say len is equal to, I will find the total length. What is the total length? Array dot length. So array, whatever length is there of the array, I will take array dot length and put it in this variable. Now I will loop first time. I'll say var I, for var I equal to 0, I is less than. So I have to add 6 plus 4. Okay. So I'm putting length here, but I will change it to some other number in few minutes. I'm just showing you. If I say I equal to 0 to I less than length, that means I'm taking 6, 4, 3, 2, 1 and 7. And I will loop again. Here I will say var j equal to 0, j less than len, j plus plus. And here I will go from this number to this number. So since I want to go from this number to this number, you tell me 0 is right or wrong, because first number will come from this loop. So here if I do console.log first number, so first number will be array of I. So first number will come from 6, 4, 3, 2, 1, 7, and second number should start from this number. So if I start from j from 0, that means I am doing 6 plus 6, and then it will break our chain. Yeah, so I plus 1 is correct, but what happened? What if I am here? If I am second time it goes and I am here, and if I keep j equal to I plus 1, then in the second loop it will break. It will say 4 plus 4. I cannot keep this as 1 because first time is okay. It will go 6 and this will go 4 because it will start with the 1. But what happened when it goes, this I will go 1. When I will go 1 and j will be also equal to 1, then our loop will fail because both the case will say 4 equal to 4, 4 plus 4. So this first number will start with this 6, 4, 3, 2, 1, 7. And the second number j should start with I plus 1. I plus 1 means if I am starting with the 6, j should start with the 4. If I am starting with the 4, j should start with 3. If I am starting with the 3, j should start with the 2. So the first loop will always start with the 6, 4, 3, 2, 1, 7. And the second loop will start with the 4, 3, 2, 1, 7. So now if I do console.log, I will say second number is array of j. Okay, so let's run this one and see if we have to still modify or not. So the first number starts with the 6 and the second number is starting from 4, 3, 2, 1, 7. Then again, first number will start with the 4 and the second number will start with the 3, 2, 1, 7. 3, 2, 1, 7. Then again, first number will start with the 3 and second number will start with 2, 1, 7. Then again, first number will start with the 2 and second number will start with 1 and 7. Then again, first number will start with 1 and the second number will start with the 7. And again, first number will start with the 7. So this is wrong because already I reached till the last number. So first number, again it is saying first number should start with the 7. So that means first number should reach up to this point. I don't want to reach the first number till this point because here only I am getting the final one, 1 plus 7. So this 1 plus 7 is the final one. After that, I don't want this first number. So I will do like this. Here in the first case, when I'm saying length, I will say length minus 1. So the first number will go from the 6 to 1 and the second number will go to 4 to 7. Now if I refresh, so you will see first number starts with the 6 to 1, that is 6 to 1, and the second number will start with the 4 to 7. So now what I will do, I will try to add this number with this number and I will see if it is equal to 9 or not. So let me do this. For sum equal to array of I plus array of j, and here I will do console.log sum is sum. So after every second loop I will say this number plus this number, if we add, what will be the sum? I will check that in the browser. So now the sum is 7, sum is 13, sum is 7, sum is 6, because I'm adding. So 6 plus 4 becomes 10. 6 plus 3 becomes 9. 6 plus 2 becomes 8. So I'm adding the number, first number with the second number, first number with the third number, first number with the fourth number, first number with the fifth number, first number with the seventh number. And I will check what is the total is there. And as soon as I get the total equal to the number provided, like here, sum is 9, I will come out of the loop and I will say return true. So here I can say if sum is equal to the number which is provided, I will say return true. If both are same, I will return true. And here I will say console.log result is result. Now if I refresh, you will see we got the sum 9 and the result becomes true. What if I put here as only 1? Let's see if I put only 1. Okay, I have to refresh forcefully. And no two numbers are 1 because the problem is that it should be the combination of the two numbers. It should not be the individual number. So no two numbers are equal to 1, and so I'm getting result equal to false. Let's try to put it as a 4. And then I will refresh it. So here, if you see, first number is 3 and second number is 1. So sum becomes 4 and result becomes true. So 3 and 1 makes it true and the result becomes true. So this is the one way which we did this problem. Let's try to do in more simpler way, because in this way we are actually we are going through two loops, and sometimes it becomes a very large number, and so combination of the two loops becomes too much complex. So we will try to do in some other way and see if we can find some simpler way also. So let's try to create another function, which I will not do today. I will do on the Monday because it will take time of 15-20 minutes. I will create another function, and in this way I will do in a different way and try to solve this in a much easier way. So here I am going with the first loop and the second loop, and it becomes problem very big. And here in the second way, I will try to do in much simpler way so that we should not go so much looping. So I will give you this method, but you should also learn the second method. I gave you already in the chat. You should also learn the second method, because second method is something which is simpler and which solves the problem earlier. And this has a complexity of n square, because this is the first loop and this is the second loop. So the complexity is n square. And we'll try to make a much simpler way for the second method. So this is all about yesterday's problem, and now we will go with our continuation of the functions, which we stopped yesterday. We'll go further to solve our problem. So yesterday, whatever we saw, we will go further now. I will create a script tag. And now the topic here is functions that return functions. So many times we have seen I have a function, for example, A. Generally, function returns some value or variable, for example, or array, or it returns true, or it returns false. We get some variable, or we get array, or we get object. Generally, we return that one. But now we will create a function that will return another function. So how it returns another function, we will see. So I created a function A as a function, and then I will do alert of A. and then I will return another function. So return will be the function, and this function will do alert of B. So what I'm doing, I'm creating one function, I am alerting A, and then I'm returning a function which is alerting B. So now if I want to run this function, I will say var my function is equal to A. So when I say my function is equal to A, the return value is a function. So the my function will become nothing but this function. And now if I do console.log of my function is my func, let's see what it is returning. So I will say 2.html. So it is calling A, and then it is returning a function. Whenever we return a function and we don't execute the function, it is simply a string. So you will see a string of the function. So now what I will do, so I called one function and I got a return function as a function. So this my function is now become a function. Now if I try to execute this my function, I will say my func execute, it will call alert B. So the first time when I call A, it executes alert A and return this second function. But second time when I execute this result, it will alert this alert B, because my function will become this function, and then my function will execute this part. So now if I refresh, I say alert A, and then it's saying alert B. So why it's saying alert A? It's saying alert A because when I run the my function, it runs this part and it alerts A and it returns this function. So when I call this function, my function, it calls alert B and it alerts the B. We could have also written, instead of these two lines of the code, if I would have said like this, A is a function, I call A function which will call the alert A, and I can also call double execution. First time I executed it, it calls the alert A, and then I again executed it, and then it calls this function, because when I executed this part, it becomes this function, and then when I executed this part, it is actually executing this part. So let's see now. Again, it's the same thing, it's alerting A and B, but we have written two round brackets. So whenever you see the two round bracket, that means you have to assume that the first round bracket returned a function, and so the second round bracket executes that return function. And so we have the two functions, one is this function and one is the return function, which we are executing it. This is called a function that returns function. Let's move to the next one. Now the topic for this one is called as function that rewrites thyself. Thyself means itself. So the function, we will create a function and we'll return the function which will override the previous function. So we will see how we are doing this one. So for example, let's take this example again. If I call this one. So now what I will do, I will create, I will do, let's say A is a function, I have written A as a function, then I call this inside this function. Let's say if I say var a equal to a. So what I'm doing, I'm calling a function and I'm assigning it to a. And then what will happen? And then if I do, let's do this one first and then I will do little more complex things. So let's pass 3. It's calling alert a. And now because it's calling alert a because we call a and a is nothing but this a and returns and it alerts a and returns this part. So now when I try to do a again, since initially a was like this and it assigns the return part to the a, and if I call a again, what will happen? We'll see. First time it is saying alert a, then it's saying b. So now if I call this second time n number of times, it will call alert b because a will become now alert b. First time a is alert a, and since it is returning and assigning a with the return value, so next time when I call a, it will alert b. So if I refresh it, a, b, 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 b. So what I did, initially first time when I call, it called this alert a. And when I call the second time, or third time, or fourth time, since now a has become this part, so whenever now I'm calling a, it is nothing but this part and not the whole a. So this is called the function is returning itself. So function initially is created and it returns itself, and then next time we are using the second a, not the first a. Let's see how to write it in different way. This is one of the way we write the function. I can write another one, function a, and then I say alert a, and then I say a equal to function, and here I will say alert b. So I created a function and I alerted a, and then I override a with this function. And now when I call a, when I call first time, it will call alert a, and when I call multiple times, it will call b second time, third time. So let's see. First time it is calling a, second time b, b, b. So what I did, I created a function and I override function name with another function. So first time we call, it gives the different result, and second and multiple frequent time, it will give different results. So this is another thing which we did about the function calls itself. Let's do one more example of this one. So let me delete this one. So I will create a variable a and I will create a function. So I created this function. Okay, so now what I will do, I will create a function, another function inside. Maybe I will say some setup, and here I will say var setup equal to done. Maybe I will say alert done. Then I will create another function called as actual work. So I will say actual work, and then actual work will be a function, and here I will say alert working, and then I will inside I will call the sum setup first, and then I will return. So I will return the actual work. I will return actual work. Okay, let's see now if I make it self Okay, let me see if I want to do any change on this one. Okay, so now what I will do, I will invoke this as a self-invoking function. That means I have a function, I executed that function immediately. So this function is executed immediately. Now let's see what happens when I executed the function immediately. I refresh it. Since I executed it, it's calling done, and then it's gone. So now what I will do, I'll execute it, and then again I will say A. And let's see now what happens. If I refresh, it's going done. Second time it's going working. So what happened now, when I run the first time, it executed immediately because of the self-invoking function. This, when I put, if I create a function and I put the round bracket, that means I am invoking, calling the self-invoking function. So I created this self-invoking function, and this in this function I have the two functions. One is a sum setup, and I have another actual work. And as soon as these two functions are created, I call the sum setup. So this part is immediately called whenever I load the page. Whenever I load the page, this function is called because of the self-invoking function. And inside that, I am calling the sum setup. So this part is done. And it is returning the actual work. So it is returning this one. So A will become nothing but this function, this part, in the string format. So anytime when I call A, it will be calling this alert working, because ultimately A is nothing but this actual work. So now if I refresh the page, first time done, second time it is working, because this setup is done only one time whenever the page load and whenever this self-invoking function is called. And in the end, it is returning the actual work. That means it is returning this actual work, and it is assigned to A. So whenever I call A, second time, third time, fourth time, fifth time, it is calling this actual work, not the whole function. So this particular kind of setup is used when you want to do some kind of setup which has to be done only once on the page load, and next time you want to call the another function which will do the different work or different task. So you will use this method, and in this method you will say, you will call this setup part in the self-invoking function, and then rest this function will be called again and again whenever you want, because this part is actually returned and assigned to A. So this is called the function as rewriting to itself. So we are creating a function and we are rewriting that function to itself. Though here the name is actual work, but it is reassigning the definition of A. And so now A will become a different variable. Here A is becoming this part, but when we return it, second time A will only become this part, not this whole function. So when we are calling A, it is nothing but this small part, not this whole function, because ultimately we are returning this small part after we are done with the setup part. So this is how we do the function rewrite themselves. Now the next topic is the closures, which we will start on Monday, and closures is very big topic. So we will be doing Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, all 3 days we will be doing closures. And closures are very important for all the interviews. If you go for any JavaScript interview, they will ask you about the closures, and we will do closures on Monday. And we will also complete the second method of this finder on Monday. And on Wednesday, we will see the complex method, which I gave you another problem that we will see on next Monday.